Hey crew, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bridget. I'm a New York City based flight attendant, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to react to passenger complaints and flight attendant related videos, so stay tuned. So I know a lot of you have seen those videos on YouTube with flight attendants reacting to movies that deal with flight attendant scenes. So I thought, why not put my spin on it? And we're going to start with an entry that a passenger sent to an airline. But let's get started. This story deals with pets. And as you guys know, or if you don't know, recently the airline industry, or the US airline industry, came out that some airlines are no longer allowing emotional support animals in flight. So this next story says, I fly often and I'm pretty easygoing. I boarded my flight from LAX to New York JFK. When I arrived at my seat, my safety tools were hanging at my feet and had obviously been dislocated from the intended position. I pointed it out to the flight attendant and asked her to confirm that it was okay. They would still work in emergency, etc. She stated that it was fine, but they had become dislodged because of the bag that the woman behind me had pushed too far under my seat. I said no problem. Then the woman behind me said that I needed to be careful because her dog was under my seat. Pause. They literally wrote that. I am highly allergic to dogs and cats, so much that I end up having respiratory distress if I experience prolonged exposure. I asked the flight attendant and informed her of my allergy, whom I must say was perfectly nice. She stated that she would call to have customer service because it was a full flight. Again, I said no problem. The problem arose when the owner of the pet, whom I had not spoken to at this time, chimed in to tell me that I would just have to move. She had to sit there and that it was my problem. But if I insisted, I could switch seats with her mother, who had a middle seat, that I'd have to adjust because there were lots of dogs on the plane. Moving on, I was astonished by her brassness and sense of entitlement. Yes, perhaps I would be the one who had to move, but I paid a ticket just like she did. The flight was full, so the wonderful flight attendant worked hard and found someone to switch with me, which I greatly appreciated. And while I immediately felt better after getting out of the direct vicinity of the dog, I'm still, hours after departing the plane, experiencing mild allergy symptoms, which would have no doubt been exacerbated tenfold if I had not been able to move. My points/suggestions to the airline are as follows. The airline needs to be more proactive in informing its other passengers that pets may be on the plane prior to booking. The airline needs to make announcements prior to starting the boarding process for each flight, disclosing how many pets and what pets will be joining the flight and where they will be seated. The airline should give people with allergies the opportunity and priority with respect to other accommodations they are making to move to an area that is pet-free. Okay, so let's go over the points that the person made. The first one being that they need to inform all passengers that there's pets on board. While yes, it is a privilege to fly with a pet, you have to think of it on the other end of, if this pet is a service animal. You know that people have disabilities and they have their service animals to help assist them. And to say that you will need to inform all passengers, and in their second point saying announcements should be made, can be pinpointing that person and they may not want that spotlight put on them. And then the third point is they should accommodate people with allergies and move them to an area that's pet free. Now that may not be even possible depending on the aircraft, depending on the airline, and I think that maybe taking it up with the gate agent when you get to the gate and see if it's possible to switch around, but I don't know if that should be a rule put in place. And I don't want to sound harsh, but once again, it's just my opinion. Alright, so we've made it through our entries that were put in to these various airlines, and let's move to the videos. So the first video is one of my favorite videos. I use the memes a lot in my vlogs. But it's from Key and Peele and it's called Turbulence.
That's why I like you. You don't talk, you just listen. It's good. Oh. Okay. And the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Got a little turbulence coming up, should be no problem. Just remain in your seat until the sign is turned off. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay.
Excuse me, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
So let's stop right there. At my airline, typically the practice is if the sign is being turned on or off, the captain makes the announcement or the pilot makes the announcement unless otherwise directed. And then the next thing is, depending on the turbulence, if it is serious, the captain will call or the pilot will call and say, hey, I want you guys to sit down. We're going to experience this for whatever amount of time, but stay seated. And I'll make an announcement again saying that I'm having you guys stay seated for your safety and for the safety of others.
Hi, excuse me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I need you to take your seat. The fasten seatbelt sign is on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom for a second. I'll be right back, okay?
I understand what you want to do. Unfortunately, I'm going to need you to observe the fasten seatbelt sign. That'd be much appreciated.
Right, it's just, I read on the internet that it's not against the...
So this is where the parody comes into play, because if there is turbulence or the captain has announced that there's going to be turbulence and he's asking for the flight attendants to sit down, I wouldn't be getting up to go and stand in front of the passenger's row that's trying to get up. I would be making an announcement saying, you know, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers stay seated with their seatbelt securely fastened through this bout of turbulence. Thank you. So let's get back into the video.
law for me to go to the bathroom while the fasten seatbelt sign is on, so...
Seatbelt sign is on.
But is it against the law, though?
The light is on.
Okay, so like he said, is it against the law? This is where, remember in like a few clips ago, I said we're here to inform, not enforce. Once I've made that announcement and the passenger still gets up and decides to walk through the turbulence, I can only inform them what is happening right now and what is the best practice for them. So let's move on to the next video.
Sir, are you willing and able to assist in case of an emergency? Sir? Babe. The lady. Are you willing and able to assist in the event of an emergency?
Okay, so as you can see, this is based on the exit row, which if you don't know, if you're seated in the exit row, flight attendants are supposed to come over and have a quick briefing with you to make sure that you're aware that you're seated in the exit row. Now, what I do is when I'm at work and the exit row is my duty, I wait until all the passengers, typically if they've all showed during the boarding process, I will come over and say,
hi, I just need a few minutes of your attention. I'm going to ask you a question that requires a verbal response. Are you aware you're seated in the exit row, and are you willing and able to assist in the event of emergency?
I look at each passenger and I wait for them to give me a verbal response. The reason why I say verbal response is because if you say yes, I need you to give me a yes, you're giving them the answer. So if they don't speak English or they do not understand, you've already given them the answer. And with him having his headphones in, that's why I go like this first to get everyone's attention before even starting. So she's good. I wouldn't have continued because then you're repeating yourself again. Let's get back into the video.
Emergency. I just need a verbal yes. Oh, y'all. Sorry, I need a verbal yes. Bet. Yes. Babe, just say yes. No doubt. Okay. What do I...
So you see, she's saying I need a verbal yes. And she gave the answer and of what she needs. And they still couldn't provide that answer. That's a red flag to me that you probably won't be able to assist me in the event of emergency. So we will be looking for an alternative seat at this point. And it's not being mean, but you really have to think. In the event that this plane does have an emergency landing and we have to evacuate this plane in an emergency, I need to be confident that the people who are in my exit row can do the job that I need them to do in order to get us all out of here safely. So this last video, I couldn't have done this without bringing up the new show, The Flight Attendant. I didn't watch it, but Fly with the Guy, I'll link his channel right here, did reviews on the first season, so I would definitely say go check out his reactions and reviews. So this is my first time seeing anything from the show, so let's see.
Shane, can I get a scotch on the rocks and vodka, please? Oh, just because you didn't answer my question doesn't mean it isn't happening in front of all of us. Shane, can you make Jada stop harassing me, please? I'm sure they have a lot in common. I mean, they're both on this flight. Are you supposed to be an economy plus on this flight? Bye. 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 You could be nicer. What? She started it. I am totally nice. I am professional. I am kind. Don't drink, Cassie.
Okay, so the big red flag there is you are not allowed to drink while you are in uniform and on duty. Like, that is grounds for termination. Point blank, period. So that's where it does not line up with the airline industry. I don't care what airline you work for, like, that's a basic rule across the aviation industry. So yes, some of it aligned with the airline industry, but the drinking, oh no ma'am, not at all. All right, you guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a flight attendant, comment down below what you think of all the videos, and if I missed anything that you think does not align with the flight attendant job or does, comment it down below. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.